right, let's talk about tile. Different kinds of tile. So there's porcelain, ceramic, and natural stone. Really, there's ceramic and natural stone, right? Porcelain is a type of ceramic tile. So just to be very, very clear, the reason we call it porcelain and ceramic, it has to do with porosity of the tile. Porcelain is denser than what we call a ceramic tile. So most of the time in wet areas, we're using porcelain because it's denser, less porous. But some ceramic tiles are dense enough, you can also use them in a wet area. So they're somewhat synonymous, although there's a little bit of a misconception that porcelain tile is better. It's not 100% true. So just something to kind of be aware of.
And there are different grades of ceramic as well too. You know, there's some ceramic tiles that are made for walls and backsplashes only, and you
Right.
wouldn't use them on a floor.
Yeah, every tile has certain characteristics, and you want to look at those characteristics, not just whether it's called porcelain or ceramic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's the coefficient of friction, there's the porosity, there's the durability of the surface. There's lots of different things to look at. And we'll talk about different sizes of tile, finishes, and patterns. So this is the fun part of the presentation where we just get to look at lots of pictures of bathrooms, which is kind of cool. So a couple bathrooms here. What you can see here, a bunch of different sizes. You got plank tile on the floor here, mosaic tile on the floor, these little 2x2s, which we use often on a shower floor, right? Because shower floors are curved, most of them. And in order to tile a curved surface, you want a relatively small tile so it'll follow that curve. So those little 2x2 ceramics are great. This decorative
have is that a line drain at the end of that as well too?
This shower actually does look like it has a linear drain. I don't see a center drain, so it looks like there's a linear drain right here. Yeah. I also like the 2x2 ceramics because they're very grippy. You know, all those grout joints creates a very grippy surface, so you can't slip in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've got some pictures coming up with large tiles on the shower floor, which can be beautiful, but you also want to be careful. It could be very slippery if you choose the wrong kind of tile. Mm-hmm. But I'm loving this little decorative accent here. This is just sort of a rectangular subway-esque tile. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a pencil tile framing this. 2 pencil tiles, actually, a white one and a blue one, which is kind of cool. A couple more, you know, little glam shiny tile. Those are those look like 12 by 36s or something, Brianna?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And on the right-hand picture,
glossy.
Yeah, very glossy.
Yeah.
On the right-hand picture, you've got some vertical tiles. Hard to tell. They might be 12 by 24 or maybe 15 by 28, something like that.
Yeah. I think these are good examples too of like, you could probably use 3 different tiles in your bathroom, but I wouldn't do more than that.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, 3's pushing it.
Yeah.
It can get pretty crazy.
That's yeah.
Interesting mosaic on the floor in there as well too. It looks like it is like almost like a larger chip mosaic or something like that, or maybe.
Yeah, it looks sort of like a pebble.
Yeah, it looks like a shaved pebble to me, and that has a center drain right there. But yeah, those pebbles are very popular. Those shaved pebbles. I'm not a huge fan personally, but you know, that's your thing. They're you know.
Yeah, me either.
I don't really like them because there's just a ton of grout. They have a lot of grout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're so
harder to clean.
A little more of a cleaning issue, yeah. But they certainly can look cool.
Especially with the pebble floor tile, you want to make sure your tile installer does a good job of installing it, because if they don't take their time and like adjust some stones, you end up seeing a grid pattern on your floor with where the.
Yeah, that's very true. And once you see that grid pattern, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
See it every single time. But yeah, because those pebbles come in sheets. They come in basically what is a 12 by 12 sheet. Mm-hmm. What Nick is saying is if you lay them and you're not careful, you'll still be able to see each individual sheet in a grid. So the tile installer has to actually rip off individual pebbles on the edge and reset them so they kind of blend a little better and you don't see that grid pattern, those individual sheets.
Yep.
Yeah. You see it all the time in pictures. If you don't know what to look for, you might not see it. All you see is pebble. But as soon as you know what to look for with pebble tiles, you can't unsee those grid patterns. But yeah, I like this shower. I love doing vertical accents. That's kind of a favorite of mine.
Centering the plumbing on any sort of accents as well too. It's a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah, it's an easy way to add a little panache. But this is cool too, doing a whole wall to a totally different color. I would assume the other 2 walls in the shower were this white. But that's a cool way to do it. This looks like a natural stone, or it could be a porcelain tile made to look like natural stone. Natural stone and shower, Nix, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, for me, I'm always a little concerned about natural stone, but it's the same thing as well too. Just like glass, you want to take care of it. I would suggest not putting like ledge stone or any of the like rough face natural stone in your shower, because that can, pick up a lot of mildew and that sort of stuff, and it is not easy to clean that stuff. But yeah, if you seal it and you keep on it, we've put like the curb caps sometimes need to be like a marble or something like that. And so we have our countertop fabricator. They put the highest grade of sealer that they can on it. And then we just make sure the client, is aware you're going to want to keep an eye on this over the coming years, check on it periodically every few months just to see how, if you're starting to see kind of like water spots, or not water spots, but almost like when something looks wet, it leaves a dark ring. And so you want to be paying attention to that for your natural stone surfaces. So the majority, there is so much ceramic and porcelain tile out there that looks really nice, looks a lot like natural stone, that it's hard to actually choose walls of tile that actually is natural stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a good, porcelain or ceramic in a shower, much better choice for long-term maintenance. If you do natural stone, you're building in a maintenance issue. So you're going to want to have the bucks in your pocket to deal with those maintenance issues down the road. They're just going to happen. Shampoos will stain them, toothpaste will stain them, but they are gorgeous. A limestone shower is absolutely stunning. Just comes with some maintenance issues.
Yeah. How many clients do you have that say I'd like the most maintenance I can in my shower?
Yeah.
Not that many.
I think low maintenance is trending right now.
Yeah, for sure. Low maintenance is a big thing. And who can blame people? I'm waiting for, I just got a Roomba not too long ago for my home, a little robot vacuum. Love it. Game changer. I'm waiting for the robot shower cleaner. I think that's the next.
Yeah, that climbs on the walls.
Yeah, that just washes your walls and your floor for you automatically.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Comes out of a little niche in the shower and just does its cleaning. Like, like the old commercial with the scrubbing bubbles for the spray foam that cleans your shower.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like that. Just kind of come out, clean everything, go back away. That's what I'm waiting for. But we have had a couple clients that, we've discussed natural stone and the drawbacks, and they loved it so much they just wanted natural stone. And we've gone back years later, and that's been fine, But they're adults and they care for it and they take care of it, But you just got to be aware.
Yeah, and like what Nick said, they sell sprays. You can talk to your countertop provider. They can come out and do it. If you wanted to go to a local box store, they sell sealing sprays that you could do it yourself. But again, that's just another level of maintenance that you'd have to be responsible for every year, every other year. So that's something that people try to avoid a lot of times.
Yeah,
sealing surfaces is not a difficult thing to do. It's just remembering to do it and staying on top of it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's important to note that sealing isn't a one-time thing. It's a every 6 months, every year thing you got to do. A couple of beautiful showers here. I really like these niches that are like in the corner where the corner is open. Those are cool. I'm not sure why I would ever do an outside corner in a shower like that, but I like that. It's a cool look.
Yeah. The long bench is nice too.
There's that freestanding bench we were kind of talking about.
Yeah.
Just freestanding. They might have taken that from a local park or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It almost looks like a pressure treated bench.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have about 200,000 body sprays in the wall here. Whoever made this shower really likes body sprays.
Yeah.
I like the lighted niche on the right with all the lights in the niche.
Yeah, the lighted niche is cool. We've started doing some of those. I also like how this niche goes all the way to the far wall.
Yeah.
And it just kind of ends at the wall, and so that the the contrasting white tile on this wall kind of flows into the niche a little bit. It's cool. It's a very, very cool way to do a niche.
So, and one thing to mention with especially a niche like that as well too, if that was an exterior wall, probably can't do that without instead like framing up two new sections of wall, one low and one high, you know, in front of the main wall there. Because niches, if you're spanning across joists, they need to have a header to support the joist coming down on top of them.
That's right. Yeah, you'd have to,
the longer the niche, the bigger the header.
yeah, you'd want to build a header across here. You also, in Ohio especially, you'd lose all your, if this was an exterior wall, you lose all that insulation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we try to avoid niches in exterior walls. Now down here in Florida, we can use rigid foam insulation and we can make up for some of that because we don't have the temperature extremes you guys do.
Yeah.
But up there for sure, I would say an exterior wall niche is a no-no. So that's a very good point. More pretty showers. That's a cool. I like these benches, these floating benches.
Yeah, I like the floating benches too.
Cool looking. You know, that's still a bench. It's still a built-in bench, but just different look. A couple of niches with the little floating shelves. Adjustable shower head on a rail, vertical rail. That's nice. You know, if we got short people or tall people, so it's nice to be able to adjust the height of that. You've got.
Actually, might be natural stone in that shower too. That could be a marble. The basket.
That does look like a beveled marble subway. Yeah. Yeah, it does. There's your shaved pebbles here on the left. That's a 2x2 mosaic in the center. So sort of a vintage pinwheel, looks like. More vertical accents. Vertically run, 12x24. That's a porcelain tile with a natural stone look.
Yeah. Yeah.
That actually looks like one of the tiles we carry in the showroom. That might be one from one of our vendors.
I really, that one all the way to the right there, I like how they did. It looks like it might be a herringbone pattern. There's not a lot of detail on, unless it's actually, no, it might be a 12x12 on a 45.
I think it's 12x12s on a 45, but they altered the grain pattern.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's a cool look.
Yeah, that's a very
Normally I wouldn't go for a boring 12x12, but they made it look nice. Yeah.
That's really cool. But that just shows you what you can do with, you know, the different tiles that are out there. You know,
yeah.
You can do 12x24 in a herringbone pattern.
With tile, color matters a lot. Obviously, pattern matters, but then how you lay the tile matters because those grout joints are accents and they can make a big difference.
Yeah, and two, like in that picture, they went all the way up to the ceiling as opposed to the one on the left where they like stopped it before the ceiling. So those are all things to consider too.
Yeah, this might be an 8-foot ceiling here, or this might be a 12-foot ceiling here. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, two different looks. Yeah, this is a little dramatic for my taste, but I do like the folding benches here.
Yeah, folding benches.
2 shower heads, two folding benches. This feels like it's in a hallway somewhere in like a lobby of a hotel. Like I'm not really sure where that bathroom comes. You know, who has a bathroom like that? I don't know.
It looks like you should be storing collector's items in there someplace.
Yeah.
Case for like your memorabilia or something.
Like a display box.
It does look like a display box. This looks like your typical sort of tub to shower conversion, where you can imagine there what used to be a tub here and someone took it out and built in a shower. It's kind of nice. They got 2 shower heads, grab bars, but a pretty typical shower that we might do around here. Looks like almost like a hall bathroom because you got a small vanity here.
Yeah.
Right there, pretty common. I like how they got a little toe kick light under their toe kick there. You can just kind of see the edge of it. A couple more. This on the right, this is all marble. Well, almost all of it. I think these sort of funny shaped tiles might not be, but I think most of this shower actually is marble.
Looks like that beveled marble again.
And this is actually the tub, in this case, is inside the shower. This was a fairly big shower, and they didn't have a lot of room for an extra tub, but the homeowner really loved bathing. She liked taking baths. So we just put a tub in the shower, which you can totally do. Not my favorite thing to do because, again, just like glass, you're getting your tub wet every single time you shower. So you got to make sure you wipe that tub down or you'll get some it's it works. It's a nice thing about remodeling. There's lots of different ways to do things. Some tile patterns. So with tile, everyone calls tile patterns different things, but here's some common names. Like I call this a straight lay. Other people might call it a grid, which all the grout joints line up. You guys, what do you guys call that up in Ohio, Nick?
Yeah, grid, or sometimes I'll say on point, something like that.
On point, okay.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
We call it stacked or straight lay. Then you've got this here. Some people call this brickwork. That's horizontal brickwork. Next to it is a vertical brickwork. Some people call that a subway pattern. Some people call that a running bond. There's lots of different terms for it.
50-50 stagger.
50-50
That's
stagger.
What I've heard here. Yeah.
A 1-2 stagger, or 1-3 stagger, or one,
Yeah.
depending on that's another thing to consider as well too. If you are staggering tile on any surface, especially the floor, after it gets past like 12 inches long, you want to consider going more than a 1-2 stagger or a 50-50 stagger, because tiles naturally have a cup to them. So if you put the high point of a cupped tile, and you wouldn't notice it looking at it in person, but if you put the high point of a cupped tile right at the end of the low point of another tile, now all of a sudden you've got a lip, and depending on how bad that lip is, could be a tripping hazard. You'll notice that with the shadow, especially if it's on a vertical surface, you'll notice shadows, showing differently. So everyone, when you think of a brick joint pattern or a stagger pattern, you think of, the end of one tile falls in the middle of the one above and below it. Not always the best decision to go with.
A lot of manufacturers will even stipulate with the wood look plank tiles, the long plank tiles, that they say you can't lay them on a 50-50 stagger. It has to be a 1/3 or a random. I like random stagger personally. I don't like doing a wall with a pattern like 50-50 or 1/3 1/3, because you start to see the pattern and it bugs me. I like a random stagger personally, but
your 3x6 tile, you're gonna do a 50-50 stagger pretty much all the time, and those tiles are so small you don't have to really.
Yeah, like a subway tile works very well, but with the other size tiles it can get a little annoying. Like a 12x24 on a 50-50 stagger bugs me for some reason, because it's just like boom boom boom, and I just looks, I don't know what I call it. It's boring. Or it's just weird. It's too regular. So I kind of like the random stagger a little better. Or vertical. I love running 12x24s vertically.